for me, um, when I started making beats, it was like this childlike play, and I'm at a point now where I'm really nostalgic about, the beginning, and like, there's this magic at the beginning, and this like endless sort of like list of possibilities. And the more time you spend outside and really doing this, it feels like it narrows, but it doesn't, and I think part of the reason that I can like make so much music and keep creating is because I really put a lot of effort into staying in that place where it feels like anything is possible.
Welcome back to Misunderstood. If you haven't already, go get the clothing. Project SA, we're here, baby. We're in South Africa. We're doing it. And today I'm here with a dear friend. I'm here with someone who I have a lot of appreciation for, a lot of love for, but also someone who's a very deep creative, a dear person to me. Kenz3i, brother, how are you doing today, bro?
Nah, what's up, bro? Yeah, I'm good, bro. Shout out for the intro, bro.
Yeah,
it's always weird. Like, I feel like I should give you an intro, but like, yeah, bro. Yeah, you my homie. We're just gonna talk, bro.
Yeah, bro. I mean, as you said, I think like we spent so much time together. We're now back in the same city for a little while.
And we in Cape 3i.
Yeah, man, Cape Town. This is your third time on the show, bro. Like, you are officially becoming a recurring guest. Like, you're a friend of Misunderstood now, bro.
I'm a partner. I'm showing up, bro. Yeah. I mean, I fuck with Misunderstood. I have from the start.
Yeah.
And I will to the end, bro.
Appreciate you. I want to kind of catch up with you, bro. Where have you been? Yeah. What's been happening? How is life? I haven't seen you in a while, bro. It's been a minute.
It's been a minute.
Yeah.
I saw your dad more recently than I saw you, bro.
So facts, bro.
I've been good, bro. I mean, like, always making music, on the move a lot, between Cape Town and Joburg. Popped there for Easter, was back here for like 2 weeks, then back in Joburg. Like, I'm tired, like, but I've been enjoying myself, like, if things are colorful, if you're seeing colors beyond the colors in your bedroom, like, you're probably having a good time. Like, So I've just been enjoying myself, making music, finishing up this tape, getting the content going, doing the promo, doing the rollout. Business is business, bro.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
Talking to colors, bro. We are in a different space. For most people, I guess, for 3 pods in, 4 pods in, you would have known the white background. But today there's characters, there's things around us. There's speakers, there's Lego.
There's a story.
Yeah, bro. This is your bedroom. This is
my room.
This is your space, bro.
This is where,
This is the place you create.
This is where I create.
And I think I wanted to very much bring it to the space where people don't see you, the space where you kind of let go, demask yourself, go through the process of reiterating, walking through it. We've spoken a lot about your journey. We've spoken a lot about your process, and we're probably going to do quite a lot of that today. But walk me through what this space has meant to you over the last couple of months, but also walk me through what adjusting to spaces has been in terms of when you're in here different to when you're outside.
Yeah, I mean, like my bedroom is always sacred. Like wherever I sleep is like probably where I also make music. It's probably where I do other work, admin. It's probably where like, it's a sacred space, bro. And I moved in here beginning of the year with my homie Brody. And I've been creating here for like the past few months. I'm that guy that like my bedroom is where I do everything, literally, bro. And I know a lot of people are like, don't shit where you sleep and like all that. I don't take it that far, but I do a lot in my bedroom. You know what I mean? Like with the tools I have here, like it's sacred. Like the people I let into this space is also, I don't just let anyone in here. It's like it's likely you are someone who I consider to be family, if you're in here. Like, I just got these speakers here. Yeah, like the Star Wars thing is there. Like, you know, I have everything here, bro. I have my speakers, my laptop, my mic. That's all I need, bro. And when I step out of here, that's when I'm like downloading. Remember, like the first podcast we did with downloading, like I'm outside, I'm experiencing things. I'm like, you know, every day there's new jargon, there's different words you hear, there's different conversations you have. And that's what I do outside. I meet people, I speak to people I know. I'm doing creative things. Sometimes I'm just enjoying myself, like walking around, you know, but like downloading. So then when I'm back here, I'm uploading, you know, or I'm sleeping, processing.
Yeah, bro. I mean, what's been on your mind? What have you been downloading recently that potentially's been framing a lot of like where you are in your life, but also where you are creatively?
Like I just turned 21.
Yeah.
And a lot of the guys who made me want to rap were like there at my age, like where I am now. They made it. You know what I mean? In terms of the like the $1 million label deal, all of that. Like you made it. Like, and I wouldn't say I've made it, but you know, it made me think about that because it's like I think people in their 20s feel this pressure, this like this rush. And I think it's especially true with people who are like ADHD. It's like there's this intensity. There needs to be this intensity. And, you know, it's like this race against time. And I get this feeling that it's like, the window's just closing.
Yeah.
But like what window? And like, should I be having those thoughts? Should I even be creating that window or the room that holds that window, you know? Like, because the things you think matter. And yeah, like I realized, you know, I did make it. I made the album, I made the music, I make it every day, you know? I am alive to enjoy another day, and that's it. Like, I make my day what I can. Like, you know what I mean? And it just, you know, turning that age is like there's that meme where it's like once you're 22, it's over. Like no one cares about you. You know, it's like 21. That's the cutoff. And like I've always struggled with change and like with being reminded of the progression of time.
Yeah.
And yeah, I feel pretty good about it. Like I feel pretty excited. I still feel like a kid. Like I don't feel any different. And it's just been an opportunity to remind myself like there's no rush and like I have made it. And what does it mean to make it? Like, because that's not why I started this. That's been another thing is like for my 21st, like I got Lego because I wanted Lego, bro. Like that's like, you know, that's what I cherish the most because it reminds me of being a kid and like why I started. Like I started making music because I wanted to make beats. I was a producer. Like I wanted to make fire beats. I wanted the ability to like make fire beats come from my hands. You know what I'm saying? And you know, when you get to this stage, like you spend time doing these things, you can forget why you started, you know? And you've explored so much, like you go down all these paths. It feels like there's less to explore. But nah, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the thing that always amazes me when I speak to you is the desire to keep youthfulness. And
yeah,
I mean this in every sense. You're a human who speaks play. And when I mean that, nothing in your mind is ever confined or constrained by the way society or the world deems the world needs to be. And I'm curious now, you said 21, and it kind of feels like a hallmark age. It's kind of that age where it's just like either things are happening or things aren't happening. You've either found your friends for life or you haven't found your friends for life. Like there's so much pressure around
all the
this.
different metrics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're now saying that, as you said, you're still feeding that inner child. What do you think that engagement is for you at this moment? Do you think it's your inner child is bleeding into the world, or do you think it's you have to feed that inner child, like buying Lego, like tapping into the things that you used to do?
Yeah, like for me, when I started making beats, it was like this childlike play. And I'm at a point now where I'm really nostalgic about, the beginning, and like, there's this magic at the beginning, and this like endless sort of like list of possibilities. And, the more time you spend outside and really doing this, it feels like it narrows, but it doesn't, and I think part of the reason that I can like make so much music and keep creating is because I really put a lot of effort into staying in that place where it feels like anything is possible. You know what I mean? And things like buying Lego and like, just things that make you feel present. That's normally what kids are doing. Watching like Avatar: The Last Airbender. That's a show I love, and that's a show I rewatch quite often because it's something that was part of my childhood, and it's a beautiful story, but it's also timeless. The things that kids do that are timeless, that are like, I think part of the reason they think, in that state, anything feels possible is because they don't know shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the more you know, the more like confined you are to. So there's a part of it that's just like allowing myself to be like a dumbass and like not know shit and like, throw myself into deep ends and feel uncomfortable, sonically or conversationally, whatever it might be,
Yeah, I mean, even thinking about it now, like, kind of that openness, and it's interesting because every time I've spoken to you, you've been at a different point at your journey. And not in the sense of like where people think like, we've actually spoken at different times, like time progresses, but in the sense of creatively, I've always found it very interesting. When we first spoke, it was when you were initially like making the album, and you had scrapped album 1. There's an album 1 that's out there that people have never heard.
Album 1, there is.
You scrapped it. You came out with Kenz3i.
There's probably like 5 different versions. Like, I won't lie. Like, that album took me long to make, bro. But sorry.
Yeah, but I mean, then you came out with Kenz3i. We spoke post Kenz3i, and you were in the both appreciating what Kenz3i was and finding what next is. And now you're kind of at this moment where you've kind of both found a maturity, and I've kind of said this to you a couple of times just listening to the music.
Shout out,
where you kind of know what your sound is and what your sound isn't. And I think you've even become a bit more clear in terms of like being aware of what elements you want to have and what elements you don't. And even speaking about things being like very basic in terms of the way in which you're going to create and put things together and drawing things back to their like foundations. But there's also a part of you that's saying that like the initial creativity, curiosity that may have existed early on has shifted. And I'm curious as into what does that shift to now? What does Kenz3i look like now, and what does that curiosity look like when you were creating in this process?
I guess it's like the way you were describing it. There is a bit more like maturity. There's a bit more clarity. Like, I'm a bit more decisive about what I want and what I don't want, and what I like and what I don't like. And that comes from putting time in and like, forcing yourself to just like create a song that you've never created before. Put yourself in a soundscape that you don't know. And you do that enough, you'll pick up things along the way that you do like, things that you don't like, things that are like, okay, that's a bookmark. There was something there. I don't know what it is yet. I need to come back to that. And, that's a big thing. That's a thing that's changed. I used to be like a one-take guy. Like, I was like, I make a song in one session. Ideally, it's like, it takes me less than an hour to make it. And then that's it. I'm not coming back to it. I'm not touching it up. That's the song. And if it's not good enough, throw it in the bin, and that is what Kenz3i is. Like, that album is me trying to be a one-take wonder. Like,
wow.
I'm just like Joe Heisenberg. the 2 beats, both of those are 1 takes. Like my performance on those 2 separate beats are 1 takes. And it doesn't mean like I'm just pulling this shit out of thin air. You know, I get prepared. Sometimes I'll open a beat, listen for 2 hours so that I can know when I'm going in for a take, I know this beat, I know every corner, and I can see around them. But with this new tape and the way I've created it, the way my process has changed, it's like I'm kind of happy with not being able to see around the corner and not knowing. You know, I'll throw myself in, I'll listen to a beat, I fuck with it immediately. I throw it in the blender and I'm punching in. And maybe I'll do 8 bars. I'm like, this is so good. This is just the hook. I don't know what's next. I can't even think of what's next. Let's move on to another song and I'll come back to this. And I've done that with a lot of these songs, just to try something different. You know what I mean? And it's not like I still love freestyling. And you can ask like my homies here, like that's what I do. Like I love to freestyle. Like the same way I make beats is like it's quite improvised. It's even when I used to act in high school, I loved improvising. Freestyling is hard though, and I wouldn't say like I'm a great freestyler, but when I'm in the comfort of my room and it's just me, I will freestyle. And like I'll freestyle until I get a take that's like, this is a hook. We'll keep that. Then the next time I'll come and I'll do a freestyle. Okay, almost perfect. There's that one line. Tweak it, cut it. Let's redo that line. You know what I mean? So it's still at the heart of like a 1 take kind of vibe, like a trap song, you know, a freestyle trap song. But it's a bit more refined. It's a bit more intentional. And like these days, like visual language is really important to me. It's much more holistic. It's like when I'm creating, I'm not just looking to make a good, inspiring beat. I'm there to like look at a bunch of old like archives from an artist, or like watch a movie, or you know, even looking at like old cover arts, listening to a whole bunch of old songs, not even with the intention to like sample, just to seep it in. You know what I mean? Like if I go a day without speaking to anyone and then I record, I'm probably gonna run out of things to say quicker than if I spend a day talking and looking at things and watching things and listening to things just throughout the day when I can't make music. And then when I'm back, I've got this whole thing that I'm not even aware of what it really is. But there's like a cartoon episode kind of lesson from each day that carries through into the music, you know? And there's a bit more intention around and clarity around what that might be and how does it get executed. You know what I mean?
Yeah, bro. I think sometimes I say this openly to most people, but I think with you in particular, and you probably know this about me, like I always get lost in like how you just talk, and lost is probably the last like wrong word, because it means like people think I'm like not tracking what you're saying.
Nah, even me, I also get lost, bro. I'll speak, I end somewhere, I don't know how I got there, and I don't even remember it. And that's what a freestyle feels like.
Yeah, bro.
But yeah, sorry, you were saying.
But in the sense of, I just think your ability to both appreciate and, I don't want to say critique wouldn't be, but mold is so interesting, because it's almost like a wide funnel into a small funnel, right? It's I'm going to take in as much as I possibly can over the next 3 hours, 4 hours with the people that are around me. I'm going to poke their brain, hear what they're saying, hear what they're thinking.
Yeah.
And then in the end, it comes out in this 4-minute song. And what I think is very interesting about you at this moment is it seems like that palette is widened and you're able to appreciate a lot more in a lot more different ways, in a lot more different experiences. And it's now even in different art forms. And I think not to say it was never in those art forms, but there's a sharper eye. There's a more like developed desire to just go, I just want to listen to it because it's now a part of growing my thinking, my intuition. And I'm curious now, when you think about where you are, what resonates with you from the stuff that you've been listening to that carries through your music? Like, what's the thing that you go, this is something that's clicked with me? Like, what's that moment like for you?
It's always like biased. It's always, I've got my own personal shit that's going on, right? And then the beautiful thing about art is that it's subjective. So like, you know, I watched Marty Supreme not too long ago. And I feel like, you know, I watched it with my girlfriend. And I think the way I connected to that story would be quite different to how a few of the people I know would. Simply because I am on that kind of artistic journey that's like solo dolo, like truly climbing that ladder of like, you know, to get to like stardom and whatever it might be, you know, the artist's journey, that's what I would call it, you know. And you know, I think I kind of hated Marty a little bit more than most people would. I don't know why. And I think it's because like I saw a lot of myself in him, you know, and this, you know, that theme of sort of, you know, how much, or that question of how much are you going to do or willing to do to get there? And how much are you willing to protect, you know? And then that changes to me. And then there's a whole new thing that I take from it. And I'm speaking to LaRue and he's talking to me about his comedy and this, and, you know, the way they regulate it, different kind of platforms and how you should say your comedy, what you should say. And, you know, Marty Supreme kind of made me think to say to LaRue, like, you know, you can agree and smile and shake your head and whatever, like, but once you're on stage, you can do whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah.
And especially if the audience is fucking with it.
Yeah,
then
exactly.
the guy who's running the event is not going to go up there and pull you off stage. They're taking away like the thing the audience came there for.
Yeah.
And in that, there's a cool metaphor about like, you know, the power there is in artistry. So that's just an example of like, you know, it's a feeling of, it resonates. You know, there's like, you know, we all resonate with art for different reasons. I happen to also make it. And so it's not just connecting to me and then my feelings are connecting to a song that I make, you know what I mean? Other people might be in conversations or sports, whatever it might be, but yeah.
Yeah, I think it's so interesting. I'm hearing the question of how much suffering does the dying artist go through before it's too much, which I think is the interesting question that is asked in Marty Supreme, right? Which is how much chaos are you willing to take?
The tortured artist.
Yeah. To live your dream. And it's interesting because art's one of those things, as we always say, there's no institution, there's no university, there's no means of validating it, and there's no means of saying that you're doing it. But I think the more interesting thing, and I think it's more of a philosophy, and oddly something enough that I gained a lot from speaking to you, was also how you define the success of art is completely your own. It's external, yes, to the outside world. They might care for streams, they might care for views, they might care for a whole bunch of things that are completely outside of you. But if the project itself was the thing that you wanted to get through and that was the achievement, then what happens after that is completely none of your own. And I think it's always that, it's that hard reality of knowing what your truth is and also then being faced with like the world's truth, right? Of what the world deems as successful, what the world deems as acceptable, what the world deems as viable. You've now kind of set your identity, set your moment, set your tone, set your music. Where do you feel you lie along that spectrum? Do you feel more acceptable to the world, or do you feel more rebellious? Because I do believe there was times, especially in earlier you, that there was a lot more of a rebellious spirit, like a very rebellious human. Where it seems like now there's a more grounded, down-to-earth human who's able to say that I'm actually able to appreciate what the world is and give you of what I believe is my truth, my perspective.
Yeah, that's a good question. Yeah, and that there has been a shift. Like, you know, I think I'm still rebellious, and like this tape is like that's a theme, you know, rebellion. But it's not directed at the world anymore, and you're right about that. Like, there's no longer this sort of like exclusion that I feel, and this sort of what would the word be, like dissonance.
Yeah, being at odds with the world.
Yeah, like I don't have that, you know. I definitely am not for everyone. Like the shit I talk about in my songs, like I don't expect everyone to like that. And if they did, that would be concerning. You know what I mean? Like I understand that, you know, I'm an acquired taste. But yeah, like it's more rebellion against like myself and maybe what others may expect from me. You know, I always like to subvert that, and I don't want to be predictable. I don't want to be like what they think I am.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because maybe then I'm giving too much away, or I'm not, you know, being true to who I am. And I was actually speaking to my brother, you know, and he's in first year, and he was telling me that he reminded me of this thing that happens in first year, you know, because all your friends disperse. Yeah. You know, the high school group is no, you know, that was now the high school group. It changes, you know, people go different places, people are in different places, not just literally, but also emotionally and whatever. And, you know, he was saying, you know, there's this insecurity. It feels like, you know, does everyone like me? It feels like, you know, I want everybody to like me, but, you know, some people aren't calling, whatever it might be. And, you know, I asked him, I was like, do you like everybody? And he was like, no, you know, and then we immediately started speaking about someone he doesn't like, you know? It's like, so then why should everybody like you, you know? And, yeah, I guess there's more like, I don't feel entitled to anything, you know what I mean? And I don't feel like making music is like breathing for me. I shouldn't be congratulated for that. For me, for what I am, that's the bare minimum. It's the same as taking a shit. Like, no one's standing there being like, good job.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It just is, you know? So I've moved on from letting other people's perspectives be an ingredient for whatever I might be cooking. You know what I mean? Yeah. And in that is the rebellion. Because then it's just me. And it's, okay, who am I? What am I? What should I be doing? What do people expect from me? And then what do I expect from myself? And then how can I fuck all of that up? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Just because, you know, I think identity is really important, and people should, you know, I feel like people aren't like cool anymore. People are like, they do what they think is cool, but they don't do what they want to do and then explain why it's cool.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I do what I do because I think it's cool. A lot of people think it might be cringe or whatever, but I think it's cool, and here's why. Like, it's not like I do any of this to be cool because that's what people think is cool. I think it's cool. And then people must figure out why, or they don't think it's cool, you know? And I think, you know, when people are online with reels or TikToks, it's a thing I can slip into. It's like, well, this is the song that's cool right now. This is the format that's cool right now. This is what is cool right now. So I should post that to have the best chance at this game online. But I feel like the guys who can blow and then stick are the ones who prove to you that something is cool. You know what I mean?
Yeah, bro. What you say is very profound because I think it's the thing that everyone doesn't realize as a result of an algorithm. People start creating to be at the top of the algorithm. So then everyone starts looking the same, feeling the same.
Yeah.
And it happens in visuals, it happens in music, it happens in text. Like for people who watch pods, like if you watch the average pod and you check thumbnail to thumbnail, you'll start seeing a couple of similarities.
Yeah.
Same with music. People see what's trending on TikTok, and now suddenly everyone's trying to make a song that can also trend on TikTok. And I mean, it changed the industry. I mean, we got TikTok music.
Yeah.
And that became like a moment in time. And it was a moment where everyone was like, what is this new phenomenon? And initially it started out as being like for independent artists. And then it became about just filling 15 seconds. And then we saw the rest of it.
Yeah.
Like, it's interesting because what I find true about you at this moment is you're kind of saying that I'm pulling away from the thing that is what you would deem normal or the thing that you guys already deem acceptable in society. I'm giving of myself and I'm letting myself give of me, and whatever me is doesn't have to fit what you guys deem is acceptable at this time, doesn't have to fit what you deem is agreeable at this time. Like, I'm just going to give of me, and I'm going to be okay of giving of me regardless of where you guys are. And now I want to give light to a bit more of the project, the time. And I want to speak about the project in full length, but I have to give light to one of the conversations that we had recently about the creation process for this project, the Vortex.
Oh, yeah, the Vortex. Oh, yeah.
The space, the mentality that you go into when you're creating. What does that process look like for people who don't understand what that is? But also, how does it feel being in that process? And what does it look like coming out of that process when you're like, okay, I've got something?
Yeah. So the Vortex, were we speaking about that at the basketball game?
Yeah.
So, that's why I asked, because it's not just a thing I do. I think it's a thing that happens to humans, especially people who like put themselves out there, like sportsmen or artists, you know, anything like that. There's for me, the creator I am, I make a lot of music. I do. I don't know how many files I have, but right now I'm supposed to have a terabyte on my Mac. Is full. And the only thing I make is music. So I have a lot of music. I make a lot of music. I make music at least a little bit every day. And so that when you have the space to do that, from what I've learned, and you're in that zone, cranking out 4-5 songs a day, like maybe 10 to 15 songs a week, you're in that vortex because you're creating so much. You're just spiraling. And you're floating, like you're just gone with it. Like you've caught this like ghost and it's just, or dragon, you know, and you're just flying it. And that's why like I'm comfortable being outside of what society expects or what, you know, is the norm or what is cool, because like I don't even claim it as mine anymore. It's almost like I get possessed. It's like I just make a bunch of songs and all of a sudden I'm in this like tornado of like creativity. And, you know, when I'm in that space, like people, my homies who make music with me, they know I go into the space where I can just freestyle like a lot, like endlessly. Cause it's like going to the gym. You know, if you're going a lot, it's like you're just in there. Your muscles are ready. It's like, you know what I mean? It's like if you're going once every 3 months, you might get that pump that one time, but it's not like building and building and building. And you know what I mean? It's just like every time you return, you're trying to get back to but if you keep pumping, 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 eventually you're going to look in the mirror and be like, oh shit, what the fuck? You know what I mean? And that's what it feels like to come out of it, is like, I have to explain to people in my life sometimes, because I don't take medication for my ADHD. I don't take Ritalin. I don't take these things. Like, I've developed like tools for myself to be more functional, to be more locked in, or whatever people want to say. But it's a thing about me and my personality and the way I live my life. And sometimes I have to explain to the people in my life, I understand 2 weeks just went by, but that felt like a day to me, because when you're in the vortex, you're just in the eye of the storm. You're in that space that you're right at the core of wherever you might be at that time. And I was in that space with this project. Like last year I was living alone, like came home, had nothing to do. All I did was make music, bro. That's all I did. It was like, it became therapeutic. Like sometimes you come home, you want to speak to someone, you can't. So I just speak to myself on the mic. You know what I mean? And like, even off the mic, I was speaking to myself and shit. Like, I just had this time and this space to like play. And I played a lot, bro. And yeah, to me, it's awesome. I don't do it for any of those reasons. I do it because I love it. Like, but it is pretty cool when you come out of it and it's like, oh shit, I've got all these new tricks. Like, I didn't even know that muscle was there. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's also, it can be like disturbing because you come out of it and it's like, it's not a manic episode, but it could look like that to some people.
Because
like,
it's just like
I'm
so
not
obsessive.
It's obsessed. It's like, yeah.
Do you ever feel like your creation could ever be your demise? Understanding that you like create in that nature. Like, do you ever feel at any point or anywhere in your life or while you're going or while you're in these like processes and like procedures, both aware of like the benefits and like potentially like the downside? If there is a downside, do you ever go like, this thing, like I could lose sight of it, because you can like lose the 2 weeks, go the time? Or is it just like, I'm gonna keep doing it until it doesn't work?
Nah, yeah, I could definitely, like, especially when I was younger, like that kind of behavior like got in the way of a lot of things in my life, and it still can. Like, sometimes I'll come out of a vortex and I'll be like, shit, I haven't hit the gym in like 2 weeks or whatever it might be, and it's like, that's not good, because it's ironic. I'm flexing those music muscles, but my actual muscles I'm just sitting. You know what I mean? Like, so balance is a thing, and for me it's kind of like holding myself accountable. I never like blame it on anything but me. I was like, yeah, Matthew, that's what you just did for the past 2 weeks. Yeah, you have like 30 songs, but what else did you do? And it's like, that's why it can be disturbing, because that's not healthy. It should be balanced. And I'm getting better at that balancing act. But I think it's also, it's developed my skill as a rapper and a producer, as a musician, a lot. And I feel like you grow a lot in that time. And, I wouldn't take that back. It's not like I come out of it, I'm regretful and ashamed. It's sort of like, okay, that's what you just did now. So now you have to go do this. Yeah. You know what I mean? And it's, back in the day, like, people didn't expect their musicians to be on their timeline all the time. musicians could go away for a year, 2 years, and get into a fucking massive vortex, and no one would even know where they were. Maybe there's a few paparazzi photos, whatever, but you know, and then they pop out, they do the album, they give you the music videos, they'll do the interviews, this and that, but then they're gone again.
Yeah.
And I think in that way I am similar to like older musicians, because I would much prefer that, but that's not how it is.
Yeah.
And yeah, the pivot to like be more consistent online is something I've been thinking about, and you know, it's slowly getting there, but you know, I don't worry too much, bro. I really just like to talk about it like this. Feels like it's like, oh shit, yeah, you know, because I don't really like, I just kind of, you know, I love it. I do it. I really I speak less than I do these days, you know what I mean? But it is dope to speak about it, and I'm learning in this very moment.
I ask an interesting thing about where you are, and particularly how you're thinking about the rollout for what's coming out. That like pressure to be present online, right? What are your thoughts on it? Like, what is your take on the world of social media and like your relationship to it?
Yeah.
But also, like, do you ever see it as like, I'm putting out a particular curated version, or is it always just like, that's me?
Yeah, I don't know, bro. I really don't know the answer, bro. And I don't know if you can make it if you don't do it. Like, if for me, back to the make it thing, it's, I don't do it for the fame. I don't do it for the money. You know, Kenz3i, the rapper, is in debt. He's not making that much money. There's not a lot of money in the rap game, bro. I made more money as a producer than I have as a rapper, you know, but I do it because I love it. And it means something to me. It gives me purpose. It helps me wake up. Whether there's 2 likes on the video, 0 views, whatever, I don't care. But made it, for me, I never want to have amazing ideas. And simply because I'm not making myself accessible enough, people are missing out on these ideas. You get what I'm saying?
That's
and then so there's like the game you can play with social media to get people to turn their heads, so they're more likely to pick up on your good ideas. That's dope. Maybe some people would equate that to fame, but it's more like the art isn't finished until it's experienced. I still want people to experience the art. They can make whatever they want it to be, but you know, I do half the job. I submit it, then it's out. It's up to everyone else to finish it, to complete it. And yeah, it's I don't know about the game, because there's another part of it that's like, I don't want to be known for anything but the music. I want to be known, if I am known, it's for the music, because as I said just now, like, the music isn't even mine. I get possessed. I say these things when I freestyle that are like, when I listen back, I'm like, what? Where did that come from? How did I even know that word? It's like you just tapped into the ether, and whatever you want it to be, God is like, you know, just, you're a vessel. And so it's like, I'm a farmer showing you what my harvest reaped. A lot of that is like nature's work, but I have to be the one to roll it out there and present it to people. And, you know, playing the game, I feel like, you know, the content strategy, you can't be putting music stuff out every day, 3 times a day.
Yeah, that's wild. It's crazy.
You know what I mean? Because then it's like, will they even listen to it? I'm just expose it all here online. And maybe you can, but you know, what I've seen a lot of people do when they do play the game is they'll show their lifestyle. They'll do, you know, funny videos, dances, use other people's music, this and that. And for me, I feel like that muddies the water of like
Yeah.
the purity of what I'm trying to do. If I could, I would just give you the music. I wouldn't even.
Yeah.
But we can't. It's not how it is anymore. And I do love the visual element, but it's, yeah. I really just do it for the music. And it's a thing I question, will I play the game or not? And sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. I haven't figured it out, it's an open-ended one.
I mean, the only thing that, like, at least in my little framing of trying to do this space is, like, I think I've come to accept that you have to play the game until you're allowed not to.
Yeah.
And
I think that is, yeah.
So
I agree.
And I think it's been interesting, like, going back, listening to a lot of people's, like, come up albums and just, like, sitting with their story of, like, like, I just sat and Jay-Z, I produced for Jay-Z, and it's just like, but he wasn't putting me on. He wasn't letting me rap. I was there cooking beats, but he wouldn't. And it's like,
yeah.
It's like, yo, bro, actually, I get it now. Like, I get that.
Yeah.
Yes, most of the time we hear these people at the end of their journeys. But that, like, start of their journey, those 10 odd years, 5 odd years, even when, like, Kendrick speaks about being with Jay for 10 years, seeing him sign a deal, like, it's sometimes just a touch point. Being able to say that you saw it, being able to be there is like, it'll happen. Like, you don't know when it will, but it'll happen.
Yeah.
And I also think that's always the weird thing with, like, creativity. And it's that, like, that shift of when the world thinks they think you'll make it. Like, I even said to people, and it was funny, I remember when I came to your house, your mom had said, no, like, thank you for supporting you through everything. And I was just like, it's crazy. Like, your parents now rock this thing. Like, this is your thing, bro. And I was like, that's 100, bro. Because then like, okay, the community, the people, like, the people who care for me and the people who really love me, who know I really love this thing, they're going to do it for me. And how it looks and it's perceived on the other side, it's not my own. In these last few minutes that we have, I want to ask about the album. I know we've spoken a lot about the album off air, so I don't want to give it, like, a lot of information and then
it's
like,
cool. Yeah.
draw back. So I want to, if somebody asked, where is the album? What is the album? Is there a name to the album? I know you said there is an album coming. You didn't give us a date, which is, I know you said, I know you said, I'm not making that mistake twice. Talk me through it, bro.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, man. The album is sick. The 0 views thing, bro. Also, what
there's a lot there,
what a touch point that you've been carrying through so much recently. Why 0 views? Why does it appear on the album cover, but also the album, bro?
Yeah, so, I mean, this album is definitely, like, my most intentional work yet.
Ish.
You know, like,
We love to hear it.
there's a lot of
Ish, we love to hear it.
There's a lot of clarity. I'm not trying to waste time at all. I'm really, like, just getting straight to it, and you're there until the end, ideally. And it's been one of the most, like, it's been a really, really beautiful time recently. I feel like, just happy, like,
you seem
happier. And I've just been having fun, man. Like, and the original inspiration for the for the tape came last year when I was like, every time I went online, I was just reminded of, horrible things, terrible things are going on. And it's like, I watched, did you watch Trevor Noah's recent special?
Yes, I did.
Remember that thing he said about, like, just because the big things are fucked up right now doesn't mean the little things stop happening, And it's true. Horrible big things are happening.
Yeah.
And it doesn't mean when you go to the supermarket, that lady that you see there every time isn't going to say, hi, how are you? How's your day been? And you have a beautiful little moment of connection. Same applies to, music that moves people. And I think for me, more than ever, there's this sort of feeling of like, yeah, COVID happened and there's a bunch of shit happening. It's like, tomorrow it can really just not be what it is now. It can really just go. And there's this urge in me to be present, and back to the thing of like being in your 20s, feeling like this race, this rush to like greatness, whatever it might be. It's like, there's this urge to be present. And the idea is, I did that Color Kenz event earlier at the beginning of this year, and that's a huge part of what I love about being a musician, is performing music and sharing it with people in a real live space. And I want this album to be something that if I pull up to an event going on and they're like, oh shit, yo, you want to perform? I can hop on and just tell them to play this album from start to finish, and that's my set. It's I want to move people, and also, just distract people with the little things, and just let them be with that and the beauty that still is. And that, in there you are reminded these things are sacred, and this is why we protect these things, and this is why we do these things, And it's called World War Z3. So it's, I wouldn't say it's political, because that's why I have the Z3. It's my inner world and the war that goes on there. The struggles with temptation, chaos, clarity, the angel and the devil, on your shoulders, all of that kind of shit. It's I love it. For me, it's my best album. It's my second one. And I love Kenz3i. Like, I think a few weeks ago, it's been a year since it came out. And that tape is very, very special to me, And it to me is proof that I can do what I want to do. And I can do anything. People always told me, like, don't start with an album. Don't even start with an album until you have played the game to the point where you don't have to anymore.
Yeah.
And then stop dropping albums where people will be interested. I like this music. I want this music to be on streaming platforms, so when I'm driving, I can just press play and it's there.
Yeah.
Like, just for me. And luckily enough, people liked it, and it connected. And
we liked it. We loved it. We loved it here. Hey.
Yeah, and I love that tape. And I love this one even more. And I will say I wanted to give it to you on the 15th of May, but Iceman is upon us, and I don't want to steal. I don't want to steal the spotlight from Iceman, so we'll let him have his moment, and then we coming. That's just to let you know it's very soon. It's done.
Yeah.
I'm already working on like the next two. So
wow.
It's beautiful, man. It's me going places with music I haven't before. And it's exciting. I fuck with it. And I guess same thing with Kenz3i. People might fuck with it, they might not. I'm doing it for me, And this one is special to me. The Zero View thing, there's a lot more. I am a bit more experienced in what this is. And so that's where the intention comes in, because I know how to do these things. And, I really wanted to build a world with this album. The person you're hearing on this album, I'm really leaning into that thing where it's like, this is not my music. This is the world's music. And in there's a character, Mr. Two-Step the Mac. And, like, right now I'm Kenz3i. You are yet to meet Mr. Two-Step the Mac. But yeah, he's he's bombastic. And yeah, there was a lot of freedom in that, and just the if you've been paying attention to my Instagram, there's that photo I released of these soldiers wearing the Zero Views logo masks in front of this old fighter jet. It's based on a real photograph that you can find out there, and I just love it because the jet in the background, it has a pin-up girl. That's what they would call them, and it's like a beautiful painting of a woman, quite a sexual painting on these jets. And they said they would do it to remind the soldiers what they're fighting for. And then in front of that, you have the foreground of these soldiers wearing the Zero Views masks. You can't even see their face. It doesn't even matter who they are. And one of those soldiers is Mr. Two-Step the Mac. And yeah, it's just been a lot of fun, man. And I hope you guys are enjoying the journey with me, and I'm grateful for everyone who is and who's stuck by. You know, I don't forget that shit. And yeah, we about to fuck shit up again. So thank you, bro. Thank you for having me too.
Bro. Bro, I think, and I'll say this, and I truthfully mean this, there's no one's journey I've been prouder of and appreciative of. Just hearing the artistry, hearing how you're building albums, building characters. I don't know, to many people, weird decisions, probably inconsequential. But just seeing the growth of you as a person, but your artistry and all of it has been insane. And I have so much I want to say off camera, because
man, I appreciate it, bro. And likewise, for real, you know, like even when I speak to, you know, people about you, or you come up, or I say like, yeah, I was with Kumo just now. He's like, yo, that's a real go-getter, hey. That's another one, hey. He's really chasing that dream, and
thank you, bro.
You know, I'm lucky to have people like that around me, and people who get it, and you definitely do, bro.
Yeah.
Like, look at the T. Like, look at this shit, bro. Misunderstood, bro. Get this shit, bro. Get that shit. Like, I'm gonna be wearing that shit too. Like, that shit is fire, bro. For real. Like,
thank you, bro. Thank you.
We to the top, bro. Whatever that might be.
Ask you this towards the closure and towards the end of always our pods. It's always what next, or it's always you're dropping an album. That seems to be where we are. For this one, I think I want to ask you a different question. I know you tend to say you don't have expectations for the albums in terms of how they perform and how they engage the world. But what's your hope for what this album means in your timeline and your story?
So you're asking the impression.
Yeah.
What I hope the impression of this album is. I guess I want to remind people that no one is in control of my voice other than me, you know, and maybe God, but like, it's me, you know, like no one's going to tell me what to make. No one's going to tell me how to make it, how to say it. Like, I want to remind people of the statement I made with Kenz3i, which is, I'm going to talk my shit.
Yeah.
I'm going to walk my shit.
Yeah.
And that's it. Like, that's all I can do, you know? And, you know, I want to remind people that this is music. My life is music. I'm about this music. I love this music. I'll do it till I die. Whether the 2 likes, the 0 views, no matter what, I don't care. Like, this is what I'm fighting for as Mr. Two-Step the Mac. And, you know, the creative authenticity, the creative curiosity, the destruction of boundaries. And I also want people to remember to love themselves and to love the people around them. You know, um, I would like for people to come away from that album feeling inspired to make someone's day just slightly better, you know, or make their day slightly better. Maybe just say that thing to that person you always wanted to say, and, you know, get a laugh out of it, get a smile out of it, get something out of it, you know?
Yeah, bro.
Yeah. I can't choose that. And that's how I felt when I made that album. And maybe that's why I've been in a happy space. It's just sort of like, I just feel like, especially now, you know, with all the shit going on, love is it's just a really fundamental, important thing. And we can't take it for granted. That's the essence of presence, you know? A love for life, a love for people, a love for yourself. Everything will follow after that, you know?
Bro. I don't know. Like, since the last time I saw you and now, you seem like a completely different human, bro. Like
Nah, I'm not. I still don't know shit. So cringe. I'm still like, I still put on bad fits some days. Most of the days I'm fresh as hell, though. Look at this shit, though. Nah, but some days, you know, some days I feel chopped. Some days I feel like a chud. Like, it don't matter. Like, it's just the way it is.
Yeah, bro. You seem to have found a light, a moment, a space, an area, and I don't know what it is. Sometimes it is touching the Joburg air, you know.
Yeah.
Just does rejuvenate people. It kind of opens your mind. But no, really, like genuinely, it's probably one of those times where it's like, it's the most grounded I've seen you, but also the most confident I've seen you without having to be like overtly confident. It's weird. It's almost like,
yeah. I get that. Yeah.
it's like silent. It's almost like assassin level where it's just like, yo, I know that guy can kill me, but it's just like, I don't want to test him.
Yeah.
But yeah, bro, I wish you the absolute best moving forward with what's to come. I'm so excited to hear it. I'm excited to plug it as always. Tell the people to go listen to it, and then tell the people in the car while I'm listening to it to go listen to it.
Yeah. Shout out, bro.
But my closing question to you, bro, what do you hope people take away from this conversation? What's your message to the world at the moment? Yeah, bro, just where are we at? Where are you?
I would say, you know, like, tell the truth. Try have some empathy, like try, you know, understand why, you know, someone might be feeling some kind of way, whatever it might be. Try to sit with things more, you know, sit with your feelings, sit with someone else's feelings, sit with yourself without a phone, or like, I know it's so cringe, bro. Like, my message is love, bro. Like, one love. Like,
one love.
You know.
One love.
One love.
Yeah, bro.
Love yourself, you know.
Bro, I want to say thank you.
Thank you, bro. Misunderstood, bro.
Bro, every time we do this, I don't know. I feel like it's like, for people who don't know us as friends, they won't understand why. But this feels like our conversations about the world and the worlds that we love that we don't always get sight to show to the world. And we speak about that quite a lot, about people getting it, people understanding what the chip on your shoulder is, and people understanding the dream. Because I think the journey is easy to see. We get that. It's just sit down and work. You see, I'm gonna keep doing it. I love it. Like, I do what I do.
Yeah, you can't help it.
But the dream, the place, the where do you want to go, the aspirations, and then seeing the dream, reiterating the dream, and coming back and going like, I'm still willing to do it every day. And I think just seeing you here, as you said, the album a year and you're dropping another one, like, yeah, bro, you're doing it. And I keep saying that to you, bro. You're killing it. It's like you.
Nah, thank you, bro. I mean, you too, bro. For real.
Thank you,
like,
bro.
Yeah, if this was my podcast, I would say all of that shit. Nah, but for real, bro. And then that's another thing. You got to keep people around you who inspire you,
Yeah.
you know? And I think we do that. And I think every time the audience gets to sit with us, they find us at a different altitude, you know?
Yeah.
And it's the higher one.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
Well, you heard it. World War Z3
Yes, sir.
coming out soon. We
Very
don't have a
soon.
date,
Very
but
soon.
it's
No date.
happening.
No mistake.
Yo, man. Thank you, my brother. I can't say
Thank you,
thank you
bro.
enough. I can't. This has been a
thank you,
time in
brother.
waiting, bro. I
you,
have
broski.
so much love for you. And as you said,
Nah, you
bro,
too, bro.
the message is love at the moment.
The
where
message
we-
is love,
in a
bro.
world where we can't find it, it doesn't seem to be apparent. It doesn't seem to be in abundance. The message is love. And
The message is love.
yeah, to everyone else, this has been Misunderstood. Deuces, y'all.